is going on? What's up, Casey?
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, man. Just happy it's Friday. We are on episode 49. Rolling Thunder. We're
Wow.
missing it. We're missing our main partner, Scott, but it's okay, man. He's been down at that awesome show with Kicker Guys and all that installation stuff, man. It is just awesome what he's doing. But we have a special guest tonight, don't we?
Yeah. A guy from DD.
DD. Is that Digital Designs, right?
Double D. Yeah.
Double D. Let's bring him on. We got Blake from Digital Designs. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, sir. Welcome here. It's good to meet you. We chatted a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
Learned a little bit, but not too much, so we can stay open to kind of learn about some stuff and ask you some industry secrets that you agreed to share with us.
Oh, yeah.
We want to know everything A to Z. So,
Yeah.
one, how'd you get to work with Digital Designs? How long you been with them? And, you know, what got you into car audio? Let's just start wherever you want.
Yeah, so first things first, just like disclaimer so I don't get fired or anything. I am the intern, not an official spokesperson. My opinions are my own. And
Good, that's the best way.
After the disclaimer, yeah. So, how I got into car audio was like in 2019 I went off to college and one of my friends had subs in his truck, and then I went, that's cool, I want, and it's just been downhill ever since then. But yeah, so how I got with DD was I was working last summer. One of my neighbors happened to actually be acquaintances with Vicky and Jessa Langford, who are the owners, and put me in contact with them. And then I just went like, they don't have an internship program or anything. I just went and was like, please hire me. And they did, which
awesome.
I'm happy about. Yeah, and so I've been there ever since last July, basically. Off and on, because I can't work during school. But
School. Still going to school. How old are you?
21.
21. Wow. Still wet behind the ears. But that's awesome. That's the perfect time to get into it, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I switched majors from civil engineering to mechanical, so I'm kind of between junior and senior year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say your master's was then in school? What did you say your master's or
major? Yeah,
major.
my major right now is mechanical engineering.
Okay. Nice. Well, that would be good because then you can use that for almost anything, really.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I was not going to go electrical engineering. That's dark magic. I don't want to deal with it.
It's pretty rough. As far as like the mechanical engineering, you find it pretty challenging? Like how much work is it?
It's not easy. It's hard. I don't like it.
So like when you're in school,
I do like the challenge, but like 5 hours of homework every night is not the most fun thing ever.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I gave up on
it's what it is, though. I know what I was getting into.
Yeah, right. I've heard that, I've seen like notebooks just stacked up, like towers of notebooks from engineers, and it's like, how in the world do you even like stay organized? With all this homework
Google
and
Drive.
stuff,
If I had paper, it would be a mess. I cannot organize paper to save my life.
It's tough, man. I'm not the most organized person either.
It's
not
just
at all.
folders under. It's like 7 folders deep, I think, on my Google Drive.
So, what do you exactly do there? Since you're just an intern there, what do you do? Pretty much learning the ropes, or?
Yeah, I mostly just help with whatever they need help with.
Awesome.
I'm the engineering intern specifically, so I do a lot of work with R&D.
Nice.
Helping them just like, hey, set up this crossover and these speakers hooked up to this amp. Just go do that. Or this summer, I've been spending a lot of time in the wood shop.
Ooh.
Building displays, sub boxes, Harley bag brackets, which we've recently started selling. And so
that's a market. That's a market for any company to get in. Is the just motorcycles, marine, ATV, that kind of stuff. It seems like it's there.
Yeah, people will dump a lot of money on their Harleys.
I don't care how loud the exhaust is. I want to hear my music over it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want both. So y'all are starting doing a whole like power sports line, or just like the brackets now, or what?
Yeah. So recently we came out with 2 little brackets so that you can mount an one of our amplifiers underneath the head unit in Harleys. I think Road Glide and Street Glide. And then the bag brackets, what it is, it's basically just a template. So you cut a hole in the saddlebags, and then we give you all of the pieces so that you can build an enclosure inside of the saddlebag that'll work with some of our subs.
Makes sense, because you almost have to, because saddlebags are made out of what, plastic or fiberglass?
Yeah, they're the ones we were testing with were like ultra cheap Alibaba ones or whatever, and those
Alibaba cheap.
Had to spend a lot of time sound deadening them so they would so we could hear the bass instead of just the rattles.
Wow. Right, and that's the thing. I don't want to go too, side jag or deep down the rabbit hole, but motorcycles and bass, that doesn't really go hand in hand. No.
Yeah.
I feel like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, were you talking to Casey?
No, you.
Or me. Okay, yeah, so the main product that we suggest is our VOW8, which is our mid-bass, like PA-style mid-bass driver. So it really gives you that, like, 70 to 200 hertz region is what that's really for, because you're not going to get 40 hertz on a bike. Like, if you're parked, maybe, but not when you're driving.
Yeah, parked in...
And so our goal
small alley.
Yeah, you got to make sure that it actually, like... Our goal is for it to sound good when you're driving. And that's what we're focused on.
Right.
Not just, like, parked at a show or whatever.
Because, when Harley riders are at red lights, their main job is just to, like, rev it up a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Just to let you know they're there.
They can already make all the noise they want on their own.
Yeah, you already get that 40 hertz around 2,500 RPM, give or take, so you'll be all right,
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, car audio in general, or just, high fidelity, home audio, whatever. What got you into car audio?
I mean, as I said, what got me into car audio is just sat in a friend's truck that had a couple of subs in it and went like, this is fun. I want it. And yeah, I've fallen down the audiophile rabbit hole since then too. So it's just, it won't stop.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Can't stop, won't stop.
I was going to say, like, did you mess around with like audio in general before you heard that guy's stereo, or no, not at all?
Literally, like, early 2019 was the first time I even noticed a difference between 2 different speakers.
Wow.
Like, just between like phone speakers and my TV speakers.
No, that's awesome though, because it's like a different spectrum, It's cool to change someone that hasn't been doing it for like a long time, and just hear about it one time and be like, man, you know what? Maybe I do need to upgrade my stereo, or maybe I want that, and that's awesome to hear.
Well,
you don't hear that too often. That is awesome. And you're working for a car audio company. Come on, man. That's awesome.
What really pushed me down was because the friend who had the car, he worked at an install shop in high school. And so when he was there, and so he helped me put my first sub in my car, but he did not prepare me for anything. He didn't even say like, oh yeah, wattage is important. It was just like the size of the sub and the brand. So I just threw a Rockford R110 in there on like 60 watts. And it was an improvement, but it wasn't enough. And then I went, okay, how can I get more without spending more money? Because I'm a broke-ass college kid.
Yeah.
And that's what really pushed me down.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. You know, go ahead, Casey. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So you're just like playing with what you have and trying to get what you have louder versus just like throwing a bunch of money at it.
Yeah, I mean nowadays, like I've thrown more money at my system, but
Got a question here from El Fuego.
yeah. So my daily driver is a 2008 Chevy Cobalt, the coupe model, which has no trunk space basically. So I've got two DD Audio 1112s in there, which are good because they work well in smaller enclosures. So between the two of them, it's like 3 cubes tuned around low 30s.
Oh wow.
You said how many 12s?
What?
You said 12s or 8s?
12s.
What did I think? And how many do you have?
2 of them.
2. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, 2
yeah.
1100 series 12s, which are the smallest USA 12s we make.
You know, I like the Cobalts for basic setups because you didn't have to run the power wire front to back. You know,
that is very nice. Oh yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was
then-
on one of those Cobalt SSs, you know, like with the supercharger they had on it.
Oh, you know what? All you have to do for that, Casey, is just put the Super Sport spoiler on it, and then they won't know the difference.
Brand new car. Yeah.
That's awesome, though, man. What amp did you say you were running with those?
It's actually a prototype, so I can't talk about it, but
Oh.
I'm getting around 1,000 watts to them.
Nice. Well, that's all you need. 2 12s, and you said
Yeah.
tuned around 30. You know, the trunk, it's gonna
Yeah,
get
I
natural.
mean, they can
nice.
handle probably about 50 to 100% more, but
Nice.
where they're at is really nice. I figure I'm probably lower to mid 140s on the meter.
Well, yeah,
Sweet,
it's
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
It's all you need, man. It's all you need.
Oh yeah.
Mullen has a question here. Blake, if money wasn't an option, what is your dream build?
Okay, so one of the techs at DD, his name is Andy, so that might get slightly confusing, but he showed me a design. I think it was actually for a Scion or whatever, but it would fit in my car. That was 2 9918s and like a big ass horn tuned to 23 hertz,
Oh,
and
Sick.
so run that on like 1 or 2 M8000s, and that
Okay.
would be an
Yeah.
insane build.
you know,
Just all the way.
it's not that bad, really. If you say to usual people, they'll be like, "Oh, I want like 40 15s and like 1 million gigawatts of power." You know, that's pretty conservative.
Yeah.
That's a nice
I mean,
system, though.
that's-
You know, it's realistic.
Like in my car, that's about as much as you could do anyways, and that's all you need. Like
absolutely.
two 18s
Yeah.
and plenty of power in a small car. I mean, that's what like EXO's Little Blue was,
Yeah.
Right.
Little
And
Blue
he-
is awesome too.
tearing it up.
Yeah.
I never got to hear that yet. Never got to. Every time I seen EXO, he never brings his build. He usually flies out to shows. So at least Slamology. It's the only place I've seen him because that's like the only show I really go to that's big. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
wanna hear that.
he was saying a couple of videos ago that he had to sell Little Blue in order to work on his current build.
Yeah. The thing's an animal, dude.
yeah,
Jake's here.
he's got a lot going on too.
Oh yeah.
He's down there. In
Yeah,
the,
dude, I got a bunch going
okay.
on. I'm actually fixing doggy. So, that's what I'm down here doing. Casey asked me to hop in here. Hey, you like my name, though? I figured it was fitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were just talking today about changing it up.
I know,
what?
dude. You just
What?
asked me earlier. That's what I said, man. Casey's never happy. That
It's
should have been the
because
name.
he's not happy because I said that Joe was louder. That's why. Now he's like tearing it out, redoing the whole thing.
815s, I mean,
815s,
what do you
man.
expect?
I mean, I'm
You can
happy
do
with
isobaric?
it.
Yeah.
I want the brutality that I had with the prides back. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking more motor force, maybe 912s on 4 solid
right.
8s. 2 of them strapped per 3 or something like that, or just another 10 play. Speaking of the M boards from DD, I like those.
Yeah.
And, obviously it's an S&I board. They're really sparing expense. But one thing that's different about those that I really like is they have that. What's the module called where you link them together so that it all matches the settings?
Oh, the ZVL. Yeah,
that is next level, dude. Because before you explain it, I kind of want to pick your brain on it. But for people who don't know, when you have multiple amps, they're all not going to be perfectly phase matched right off the bat. Yeah. So what that means is you have to change the phase or put them on at least a 2-channel oscilloscope so you can match the phase of your amp. So all your drivers work in unison. So with the link for the M amps, that eliminates the need to do all of that. You can link how many? 4 or 5?
So I'm trying to remember. I think that the limit on the ZVL modules, which if people don't know, it's basically like an advanced RCA splitter where you plug one set of RCAs in and then it sends out 5 more signals. And I think you can link 5, 6, or 7 of them together, all in a line with it working perfectly before you start running into issues, which gives you 24 amps to play with.
That's it.
Yeah.
An easy way around that, Casey, and I seen it just from other people on YouTube years ago having problems with whenever you run gain matching with multiple amps and different subs. Amazing. One way around it is if you don't just have, say you got your 4 subs, and you want to put 2 amps or however many amps, we'll say 2 amps, and you want to put 1 amp on 2 subs. Yeah, you go 1 coil on each one. As long as you get your impedance right, so then you never have that phase issue. It'll never fight itself.
If you wire one reverse, as long as you just have a phase angle adjuster, you wire one in reverse and you gain match the voltages and you turn it up, they should stay completely still with one wired reverse, and then that's how you know that you've got the phase angle right.
True.
Yeah. You get it
it's like eyeballing your tuning frequency, by the speaker moving or not,
But you get the gains as close as you can where it's not moving and there'll still be a little movement, and then you hit your phase until it's dead still. Because what happens is when you have a dual voice coil, one voice coil is pulling and one is pushing. So and when it's not moving anymore, then they're in alignment. So then you just flip the polarity back and boom, your phase match. I mean, it's easier to do with an oscilloscope, but that's what I like about the relief on these amps, though.
Right. Usually when I run multiple amps, I split it up so that, one amp's getting one set of coils and the other amp's getting the other set of coils. So they'll never fight each other and one set isn't playing harder than the other. Because it just, mess around with it, man. You'll see it. It's only going to do so much, and it's just, it's easier doing it that way. That's the only thing with the quad box. You can't do that unless you rewire the whole thing. And I don't want to do that. So I'm probably just going to go for it.
That's where the ZVL, the benefit of that is a couple months ago, the guy who's got one of the biggest DD systems out there, he stopped by, and in an afternoon we were able to get all 16 of his M8000s aligned and working great. And so that's the benefit of this ZVL.
Oh, sorry.
What was that?
Oh, the scary part about wiring the coils like that is with a lot of vibration, when you have, what we call gain lock. You know what I mean? If you don't hotkey your settings or whatever, the vibration, it'll change it a little bit, and all of a sudden one's moving more than the other.
Yeah, I think that's a tear amp problem when the gains start vibrating, moving down or up.
It was right here a second ago, and now it's right here. And I didn't move my hand, but somehow I got 7 extra volts.
I can't.
Honestly, that shouldn't be a problem. Everybody knows all knobs to the right.
Exactly.
This guy's already spitting fast.
Turn it to the right, glue it, set it, forget it.
Honestly, don't know why this is an issue. Just all knobs to the right.
Yes.
So, Blake,
when in doubt,
I think Jake's just in a different dimension right now.
I'm not I'm halfway listening, halfway working, and my mind's in between.
Moving and grooving.
Home Improvement, Andy? It's like we're watching Tool Time, behind the scenes with Al.
Yeah.
You took the flannel off. Like,
there's got to be a way to flip this camera.
Yeah, you need like a little stand or something. We need to see at least what you're
I
working on.
got a really nice stand.
Just prop it somewhere. We'll let you know how it looks.
I mean, you want me to prop it right here so you can look at it?
Yes,
Well,
that's perfect. Just hold it right there for the next 45 minutes.
Just hold it while I'm just drawing angles and figuring out angles right now.
Yeah, real quick. What are you doing, Jake? What are you doing?
I'm making a ramp for my dogs.
A ramp.
My youngest one got out of a wheelchair a couple months ago, and I'm making her a new ramp because apparently she likes to pounce on that one and destroyed that little half-ass one I built. So now I'm going to make one that shouldn't destroy.
Nice. Double baffling it this time, right?
Actually, yes.
Oh, look at that. Nice. I can't. No, thanks for joining us too, Jake. It's awesome. I know we're down one guy, but it's okay. We're having fun here. I'm trying to think what else to ask Blake. I got a lot of questions because I like digital design because, you know, they make really good products. They're not the cheapest products, but they're not, you know, the most expensive, but it's good quality stuff. And it's just, it reminds me of Kicker, but a little bit more SPL oriented in a way, in some aspects, just of like their consumer you know, all that, how that works, you know, just the business.
Those V-woofers ain't cheap.
Yeah, I want some.
Casey, what was your question?
I'm curious. Also, I was going to ask you about the Z-woofers later, but I'm curious, like the day-to-day NVD. Like when you go in there, like what's the day like? How does it work? Like what kind of setup is it? What are people doing? You know, you don't have to share any secrets. I'm just kind of curious, like how the gears turn.
I mean, it just kind of depends. So like in the wood shop where I've been all summer, it's basically just like whatever projects we're working on. Nice, Baba. But whatever projects we're working on, just show up, get working on the project, cutting stuff on the CNC, sanding, whatever. Production, all of the woofers are made to order, so it just kind of depends on like what's being ordered. But we've got different stations, hard parts, coils, final, and different people trained for each. So,
do you just have like? Do you see like stacks of cones, like those carbon fiber cones that they have in like different colors?
The carbon fiber cones are also made to order. So
what?
There aren't like massive stacks of those, though we do have a bit of a reserve. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean
I'm just in my head. I'm picturing like a mountain.
What, are you working at DD Designs or something?
Yeah.
What's the signal to noise ratio on yours? Or not?
It's just digital design. It's not DD Designs. It's digital designs. Silly goose.
Oh man!
All right, in peace. But yeah. So all of the carbon fiber like cones and dust caps, those are made in house, and so we just get giant rolls of carbon fiber and fiberglass that we resin together, mold.
I bet you're looking at that as a mechanical engineer, like, I could do so much with this carbon fiber roll.
I'd say it's nice that you guys make stuff in-house, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
You ever get scrap material?
The really nice thing about that is just that, like, for one thing, everything's built to order, which means that it's customized for whoever wants it. But then also, like, we can just do limited runs of stuff really easily, and it's a lot faster to prototype stuff rather than like coming up with a design, sending it over to China, waiting for it to ship back over. We can just build it in an afternoon with all the stuff that we've got on hand.
That's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I got to get this moth before he eats all my shirts in here. I'm going to get this thing. You got this, Casey.
Dude,
Have fun.
is that even a real thing? Like, do moths? I've never had a moth like eat any of my clothing.
I mean, they'll eat little holes in it.
Like, how do they survive?
I don't know what moths are. I'm not a moth expert. SJC, they're talking about the DD Audio A-series speakers.
Yeah.
In the chat, which are very nice. I bought a set myself. So
they look nice. Yeah. I like to look at a lot of their stuff. What's like the baddest 15 or 18-inch subwoofer that they
The
have.
Z4.
The Z4, is that the Neo guy?
Yeah, that's the Neo one with. It's got 18 Neo blocks on it, and then big 4-inch coil.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
All I heard was big 4-inch coil.
Ferrite?
What? In Ferrite, that would be the 9900 series, which is also the 99 and 95 series share all of the same soft parts as the Z series, with a couple of tweaks. Really, the main difference is in the motor. So the 99 series has a, I think, like 80-pound triple stack ferrite motor, while the Z4 has the like over 100-pound 13 or 18 block Neo motor.
100-pound Neo motor. That's
yeah,
crazy.
It's
Usually Neo's a little bit lighter.
So there's two ways you can go with Neo. Either you can go for like the same total flux and make the motor a whole lot lighter, or you can do what we did, which is make it the same size but just a whole lot stronger.
Right.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I mean,
I mean,
it makes sense. Now, could you make a ferrite that strong as that Neo, but just use ferrite, or do you think there's still just, the Neo's just going to outperform it no matter what?
I mean,
The chemistry
enough
of it.
ferrite probably, but
Okay. Yeah.
that'd be a lot. You'd
Wow.
need like 130 pounds of ferrite or something stupid
Jesus.
in order to actually like match that same kind of drive power.
Wow.
And
It's
that,
like a resilient sounds team.
yeah.
Since they're
Well,
so
the
You know
thing
what
is-
you're not supposed to speaker box with? CA Blue.
because we design our subs ourselves, like from the ground up, basically. So we're able to use a lot tighter tolerances than most other manufacturers. And so what we find is that from the measuring that we've done, our ferrite motors have about 50% more motor force than the same size ferrite motor from just like a generic Chinese factory. Just
Right,
because
you're getting
we're able to use tighter tolerances.
Yeah,
higher
tighter
grade
tolerance.
ferrite.
I was going to say just better BL. Just better BL, tighter cap.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like digital designs out of a lot of brands that I see around and stuff. And it's just because I know that in a lot of ways they are a lot like Kicker, in how they design their stuff, man. It's good stuff.
And I can say, and this is from the perspective of a broke-ass college kid, but personally, I will never buy any like subs or whatever from a brand that is not doing the R&D themselves. I want to support the people that are actually pushing the technology forward. And
Right.
that's where I'm going to put my money. Also because that stuff performs better.
I mean, it's not that you don't want to back them up, but it's like you do want to back the people that are putting into the time and effort to design a woofer in a way where just like how it is. Now, not that those products that are just click and paste, not that they don't fill somebody's need, but just in general.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's just personally, I want to support the people who are designing their own stuff.
Right.
And again, there is a lot of value in those, like value for money is better on those like more generic kind of woofers. But it's a question of where do you want to put your money?
I'm huge in like buying like the quality of the brands that you like. Like I like to get to like their flagship models and see what makes them what gives them the hype behind the name, you know what I mean? Like with Sundown, it's like their Z series is like their hype sub, it's like everyone's like, oh, Sundown, do this, do that. And they really do live up to the hype. And like the same thing with like the Pride subs I've tried, FI subs, like I like to try, their flagship stuff just to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try DD, and it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff kicks ass. It really does. Like, lots of people make good stuff. And we are one of them.
I seen Bubba's comment about a demo vehicle. I know Travis had a digital design build at one point. He pulled out the Solo X18s and threw in the, I'm not sure which digital designs, but I just know he had those in there. But I don't know if they have an actual commercial demo truck. You would know more than I would on this.
Yeah, Didi, we don't have like a commercial demo vehicle at the moment.
So you guys, is he talking about like the
I
boom
think he's
room
talking
type
about
thing?
like at the dealer level.
Okay.
Because he's wanting to like go to his dealer and listen to some of our A-series components, see if he wants to put those in his truck.
Gotcha. I mean, honestly, it comes down to, like if you don't know nothing about a product, you got to almost trust someone that actually knows what they're talking about, and hopefully they lead you to the right path. And if the price fits, then it works. But, it's just sometimes you can get away with, or you don't want to get away with paying less, because then at the end of the day, you pay more, either with, a woofer that's not as efficient, or it just doesn't sound as good. Who knows what the case is? That's why it's just almost better to whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like it's just a base, or it's just as long as it does its job, it works for me, and what budget works.
Yeah.
I
And I will
got a
say,
question.
because we've got like a moving van or whatever that's a DD audio van, and that used to have an A-pillar wall with 16 2508s in it in a
nice.
sixth order. That
That's
got
cool.
taken out a couple years ago, and right now it's just got two 15s. We're trying to, me and one of the other guys are trying to convince Kevin to because we've got a whole bunch of dual 15 PA boxes, trying to convince him to just stack 3 of those up. Basically
do it.
wall it off.
Yeah. Don't ask why. Just do
More
it.
boxes.
Just do it.
Jake, have you ever had any experience with digital designs or building enclosures for them?
That's a good one. I was actually about to hint at this. I need a full spec sheet, man. It kills me. They publish half the specs on their website. And I called up there one day. I don't know who it was. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, and I don't have names. But the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll get with the engineer. Get right back with you." Gave me the same specs that were on the website. I was like, "No, I need the specs. I'm plugging this into Term Pro. Come on."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
And he's like, "I just need the SPL 1 watt per meter. That's about all I'm missing. That and the CMS." He's like, "Oh, those are proprietary. We can't give those out." I was like, "What?"
God.
So the reason we don't publish TS specs broadly is because, quite frankly, we find they're just not accurate. We build very tightly damped woofers with lots of motor force, lots of power handling, progressive suspensions. And first of all, being able to measure TS specs on something like that is
You gotta
really
break it
hard.
in first. I get that.
Well,
I
you
get
gotta-
that. I know they changed over the last
But just like
24-hour break
the
in.
suspension is different depending on the excursion because it's a progressive suspension. So you
Right.
can't really have a defined CMS. And then the bigger issue is that, the larger issue is that TS specs were created during the late 60s, early 70s, back when 5 watts was a pretty strong amplifier. And those specs and formulas are designed to model how a speaker will perform on 5 watts. And
I get
something
that.
that can perform on 5 watts won't perform on 1,000.
I think
get
it's
it.
almost
Then
it's
It's
the other
all I
thing
got
is
to help me build a speaker box. So
Well, but then we have thought of that, and all of our subs are designed to work in a very specific box. We call it the DD box system, but it's
I know
just,
y'all got A-Trend specific boxes. I've seen a bunch of them. I've heard them. They sound pretty good.
yeah.
But
And so-
say I'm trying to change it and tune it to the vehicle itself,
Mhm.
and try to flatten the curve. prefab box in that sense isn't going to help me too much. It works in everything, but doesn't work great in anything per se. It's a broad spec.
It's not a prefab box, but the DD box system, it's basically just you build the box within our recommended range of enclosure sizes.
Frequency.
Yeah, and then 16 square inches of port area per cube with a tuning frequency between like 35 and 45.
It doesn't help me when the guy brings me 3 Z18s and he wants a 6-quarter wall.
Well,
right, and I feel like Jake he's seen so many subs, he built so many enclosures, you almost have to, like, even if they're not accurate, it's something to bang it up against compared to other woofers and be like, okay, well, this woofer has similar specs or around that area, and I built this type of enclosure. If I don't have everything, I'm kind of taking a guess, and with his own system, you can't take guesses. Right.
Also,
I'll go downstairs and get on my PC then, Casey.
Yeah. Another issue is that, like, again, all of our woofers are built in the USA and have multiple suspension options. So it's kind of impossible to go like, this is the specs for a 95 when there's a lot of different kinds.
If I were to come to DD and I'm like, I want some big 18s that smash loads, I can get some big 18s that smash loads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got those.
Yes.
But
that's crazy, though. I mean, I get it because TS specs are measured at 1 watt, and you're not getting any excursion. And you know what's crazy? I learned that X-Max isn't even a thing. It really is just the height of the coil and yes. That's it. There's no such thing as X-Max. It's fake. It's fake.
You want X-Mech?
Yeah.
Even that.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Physically bottom out.
Yep.
If you just like remove the bottom plate, then
All right, give me like 2 seconds. I'm hopping on my PC. I'll be back.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's a podcast, not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
Clear to go. Go. No, but I mean, beside the spec and everything, it feels like they're a company that they think of everything. Just like you were saying, they have different spider packages or whatever and custom, carbon fiber cones, all kinds of stuff where it's just not your usual company. It's more of like a custom.
Yeah, and again, like everything is made to order, so you can get whatever color dust cap you want.
Wow.
To like whatever
to a degree,
carbon fiber we have in stock, but
right. Still,
I mean where recently we came out with ghost cones, which it's 3 composite cone, so it's just as strong as like our normal carbon fiber cones, but it's translucent, so you can have LEDs behind the sub and it'll glow through.
Oh, nice.
I've
seen, what was it, like, Boss, I think, has something like that. Boss.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh, God.
That's messed up, man. Andy, you should pull up their website as we were talking about this stuff.
What do you mean to pull up?
Can you pull up the website and screen share it as we talk about it?
Digital designs? Absolutely.
Subs, like, they perform, but, like, it's like every time I go to build a custom, like, a wall build or something with them, I got to use this should work rule of thumb, and I prefer to at least have some kind of modeling software to be like, that's probably not going to work as well as I thought it would.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Like Casey's box. Casey's is that looks about right box, and apparently it's working.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, those are the Harley bags that I was talking about that I've been working on.
Those are pretty cool. I see the enclosure inside of it right there.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that the enclosure only uses half of the bag, so you can put like a pack or whatever in the front half. And
that's insane.
The front bit has a bunch of like slots in it, so the air can breathe, and you're using all of the airspace. but you're not like having to worry about damaging the sub or whatever.
Right.
It's pretty neat, man.
That is nice. That's super clean. I didn't think it would be something like that. I mean, obviously, it's got to be something like that, but seeing it's a different thing, man. Okay, what are they?
That's just like suggested systems. This all is just a bunch of like advertising stuff, basically.
Let's get to the good stuff here. Subwoofers.
He says skipping straight through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 1100 series is what I've got in my car.
So what series do y'all stop? Like I think the red line's all made out of the country, right? Or
yeah, Redline is all made in country. The USA series is all made in the United States.
okay. All right, I was just clearing that up. Somebody told me that, and I was like, I don't think that's true, but maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
400 arm.
Yeah.
I'm just talking out loud. Sorry.
I'm also on the side screen. I'm inside the build your subwoofer thing. I'm building 18s right now.
Oh yeah, that part is super fun. But,
Hold on, does it say it now? Hold up, scroll back down there. Does it still?
What?
You looking for the
Yeah,
specs?
Hell yeah! I'm trying to get an eyeball. I ain't been on their site in a minute, dude.
Roll up.
I don't
The
think
site's
I
awesome.
don't think I've built a box
Yeah.
for a DD in a minute. Ever since I quit building boxes for jokers.
Where we go?
You gotta
it
wait
disappeared.
for
There we
the
go.
specs to load in. Yeah,
What
it
are you
takes a
What are you
second.
looking for exactly? CMS?
Oh,
I still don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have all of the specs on there.
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, you got most of it. I mean, you even got like
It
frame
does
diameters
say
and stuff.
VBSPL, but is that like 1 watt per meter stuff, or is that 2.73 volts?
That's 1 watt.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
I see TS.
There we go.
Whoa.
Magnet
We
weight
don't
ounce.
do any like 2.83 volts or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Not
so
for
weird.
efficiency.
Well, some people never
Woo!
publish which
What is
one
this
it
guy?
is, and then you kind of leave you guessing on which one. it is.
Gorgeous.
That's what me and Jake are gonna have to make acrylic spacers for to fit in my tank.
Is this the giant
Wait,
Neo
are
you were
we-
talking about here?
Oh yeah,
Man,
Does that one?
Yeah,
Does
there-
the motor
there's
right off the
really
cone?
yeah.
Is that the
There's
one?
Look at
almost 10 pounds of neo in there.
No, I would,
Yeah, and it's
I would
got
get the
2
see-through
top
ones,
plates
the
on
ghost
it.
cones.
So those like in between the bars, there's the little nuts. You can actually undo those and take the basket and all the soft parts right off the motor.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Nice.
say. I think I saw
nice.
Mr. 6.5 take the motor right off of one.
So that with a ghost cone would be insane.
Ghost cone looks so super cool.
So
I want to
cool.
get one in my house
Vanity
just for the
plate.
hell of it. Yeah, so the vanity plate is just there's a channel in the middle of the M8000, and so it just lets you put the
Oh, that's pretty
acrylic
dope.
plate in the middle, put some LEDs on
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I get you
Super
right there.
nice.
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
That's cool.
Fancy. Spare no expense. Exactly.
Oh,
That's
no.
beautiful.
Might as
This
well.
is the 8K you guys got right here. I never really looked
Yeah.
at your amps. I've seen the subs a little bit of them.
yeah. The M8000 is absolutely insane
Mm.
because it's. I mean, you can see it's pretty darn small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very big.
Yeah, so it's a half bridge, Korean half bridge design, current driven. It's, I mean, we've thrown everything at this. And as long as you're like not wiring it into the dirt, jacking up the voltage, you should have no problems.
Do y'all still have the Z2Bs or anything like that anymore? Or?
Now,
They're done.
yeah, we
I
don't
wanted to
currently
shoot
sell
See,
Z series
is the link on here?
Ooh.
The amp link?
yeah, so M8000 and rated 8,000 watts at 1 ohm.
Yep. Yep.
I have seen quite a few guys that, again, like wired into the dirt, jack up the input voltage, clamp like 13.5K out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my next question. Is everybody, their brother, their mother, and their third cousin looking at an 8K is questioning whether they're going to wire it down or not. So, what is like the limit on what it's actually safe at? I don't wire
So,
very low,
we-
but
We don't recommend anything lower than 1 ohm. If you're wiring at 1 ohm, you shouldn't have any problems. If you wire below that, you're going to get more power. You're going to get less reliability. So we don't recommend
Magic
running.
Dragon might come out at about
A lot
a
of
quarter.
people do.
Have
Now-
you put it on a certified or uncertified run at half ohm?
I know that we've at least done a dynamic.
Okay.
I don't know about any of the others on the
I mean, it
dyno.
is half bridge, and it's probably really good parts internally, coming from that company, so probably could withstand it. So don't tell those guys, because then they're going to run it at 0.17 ohms.
Don't
Hoping they
be
hit 0.5. Okay.
Exactly.
Don't pull an Orion that tells me, yeah, you can wire that 2500 at quarter.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Just-
that M8000, genuinely, it is tiny, though. Like, I've
Yeah.
looked at the specs, and it's around the same size as, like, a Taramps MD 8K or 10K.
Wow.
Weighs
That's
almost
nice.
twice as much,
And that's
but...
small because those are all full bridge designs.
Yeah, those are
so-
all full bridge designs, and this is kind of like our whole MO as DD. We want to get stuff that's compact, we want to get stuff that's compact, that performs in the way people want, but rather than just doing that by cheaping out, we would rather do it by using higher quality components.
Yeah.
And so that's
See,
exactly what we did.
And I know that with the new, that's a brand new design too from SNR, which is the best amp manufacturer, obviously. And then they shared a board design with the HKO DS18 amps with like differences, I understand. But do you know like the differences between those?
I don't know specific differences. I've seen that, like, just looking at the internals of the boards, I know that the rail caps are a different brand. But, like, dyno numbers, the M8000 RM series, from what I've seen on a dyno, does more power than the DS18 Hooligan series.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I'm kind of
I
in a
don't
weird place
know-
with these 10K because they're brand new and they just I feel like they kind of rushed them out. We've been through like 7 of them now. The 8th one is on its way. It's like, bro, come on. But they clamp so much power. Like, I'm clamping, 10K an amp at 2.5 ohms. But the only problem that I'm seeing with the smaller footprint, like in like a real world scenario, is the heat. Like it's hard to dissipate the heat with that small of a heat sink. So I'm finding that I'm needing to run more fans and stuff like that. But other than that, this is like the future, man. They're going towards the future.
Well, and
with
that's
small
where,
half
like,
bridge.
because
I got an alternator
I don't
fan you
know
can
what
put on
the
it.
mass is on the DS18 heatsink, but I know that, like, the M8000 weighs about twice as much as a Taramps MD10K.
Yeah.
Whew. Well,
Because
you got to have the good parts in it.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
heavy.
and because we understand, like, there's a lot of heat to dissipate and not a lot of space, so you
Just
need
to
a lot
make
more
the
aluminum
surface
in
area,
order to make that work.
Jake loves Terrence, by the way.
I'm not a
And we're just like
stickler for it.
dumping on
Bro, I've
it.
installed more salt amps than I have anything here recently.
And
so
you know,
go
you
out
love
here.
Terrence.
Bro, there's a 8K box sitting in my garage. There's a bunch of 4 channels down there. Chill out.
Terrence, okay.
Bro, I run tear amps in my own shit because I'm broke. What you talking about? It makes power for $600. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You can't beat it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have a fire extinguisher. I'm prepared, but I have ran one at 0.4 for 2 years at 16 volts and never had an issue. But then again,
Wow.
I don't hit that red light that everybody be sitting on at the shows.
What's
Yeah.
that?
The protect light.
Oh,
It can
wow.
blink the clip light. It can slap the clip light just a little bit. Just the clip light slips at that's 1% if it's just blinking a little bit.
That's one thing
Well,
people don't understand too, because a lot of times you can get away with running lower, long as you don't overcurrent the rails. Or I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot more to it, but
So, how amplifiers work is amplifiers, they make voltage and pass current. Having a lower impedance demands more current, and so you can only turn it up so far before you exceed the current handling capabilities of the amplifier.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. The more I do these amp dynos and just, with the SPL lab, you see everything. So it's pretty cool to learn more, than just the numbers, of SPL, how loud I am, and just the power of watts. There's a lot that goes into it, man. And it's cool because DC and AC, it's a little different, but DC, you just got to multiply the voltage times itself divided by the resistance. It's like different ways to figure it out. But I mean, it's all in the same.
I mean, power is power. The big thing is just like how they react to different things. Like AC and DC, as far as power goes, like RMS voltage is the same as DC voltage in theory.
I'm gonna go run my table saw off my amp now, so we'll put 60 hertz in, turn it up to 120.
Exactly.
And if I want more power, I'll go up to 75,
Yeah.
I mean,
it will work. It will. If you can make the voltage.
Genuinely, you could do that.
It's a watt
I can't
inverter.
recommend it, but
at that point, it's a watt inverter.
Yeah.
The watt. Jesus Christ. I'm more interested to see, like, I love the amp dyno videos, but it really doesn't tell you when you're in a vehicle with whatever electrical setup you have, after impedance rise, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a really efficient enclosure that rises a whole shit ton, and then you're like, well, okay, I have this 10,000 watt amp I put at 1 ohm, and I'm rising to 5 ohms, and I'm only making 1,000 watts. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? But like me and Jake have talked about it in the past. If you make your impedance graph, and as long as you're not dipping anywhere, it's fairly safe to run down. I run at half ohm most of the time, and I never see under 1 ohm. If you look up the AM1 or whatever.
If you want to check that, I got the Steve Mead signal generator. We can run a sweep.
You never see your impedance. You
will if you do that. I've seen it like take a little dip off in certain spots.
Really? Below? That might not be accurate. I don't know.
Maybe it's the meter, but I'm telling you, the little Steve Mead signal generator.
If the clamp doesn't work right, and then it'll read too low of a inrush current, and then it'll make it look like the impedance is lower than it should be. I just see it all the time, because it's like, how is your impedance lower? And it's like, because the clamp isn't around 2 things. It's supposed to be around 2 instead of 1, and it'll throw things off. And then whenever you're metering, or not, running the lanes, and someone has their amp strapped, there's a different way you have to do that for the clamp, and it's just you learn that stuff. You see it, it's like
the leads are measuring what the impedance is.
Right.
So the clamp is just measuring the amperage that's coming through. So I mean, if you're checking, when you do like the whole meter, whatever, you're sitting there, you go and do your burp or whatever. When you see what you're rising to, like say you're saying like 5,000 watts at 2.8.
But I'm not using a clamp.
Right. It's nice to see how much power. I want to do that in one of my videos, the next bench test I do that's a decent size amp, but I have to almost have a system that is a different one, because I do the reactive loads. So to give you an idea of what kind of power you're actually going to see when you wire it, how it is. Maybe a prefab box would be the best situation, because that's going to yield the lowest amount of box rise, so you might see a little bit more power than you think, because usually custom enclosures are a tad bit more efficient in a lot of aspects. Not all of them. You build big, different specs, but a good idea to just show people, like, okay, you run this 600 RMS amp at 1 ohm, you're going to see 250 to 350 watts actual power. You're not going to see what we just did, 650 uncertified and 599 certified. It's not going to happen.
That's one of the things that I love about DIY Audio Guys videos, because he'll show all that stuff.
Yeah. He started doing that with the amp dynos, and he was like, I'll do it with the real live power. I just, I was doing the amp dynos for a while. I kind of got burnt out from them, and I just been really busy with so many other things, and I that's something I would like to cover, but I feel like a lot of people already know that to a degree. Yeah. But there are those people that do need to know. The content needs to be out there where it's like, listen, your music is all over the place. Your power is all over the place. You don't know until you know, and then that's how much power you're doing. And just run a bigger amp.
When I was talking about impedance, I was talking about like on his subs. Like, I can run a tone sweep and plot graph his impedance across his entire enclosure.
I thought you meant The impedance just okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I said when you want to find out how low you go, let me know. We'll bring a fresh 9-volt. I'm pretty sure I told you that.
Yeah.
He loves to eat them things.
I can't.
Yeah, they do,
That's-
man. I've never like picked up an SMD tool and the battery not be dead. So
Bro, it's like it don't matter if you buy the expensive Energizer one. I don't even use
It doesn't
SMD
matter.
tools that much. The
You
only
can
reason
even
I have this
unplug
is
it when you're
because it's
done.
convenient.
You take
What?
the SMD condom off of it, you pull the battery out, and it's still dead.
Yep.
well, that's probably got to have something in there to what is it? Put some type of load in a way inside. Is that why it's eating up the batteries? You know,
I don't
like
know, you probably pop it open and there's an Arduino board in there. Who knows? I don't know.
9-volt eaters. Well, we already went to the
It's
hour
actually
mark.
Just
Do you guys got any other
At
questions for
SMD
Blake?
the whole thing, it's just a scam. There's just a resistor in there.
Yeah.
Draining the batteries.
It's just guessing.
That's just a DD one. There's just a little tweeter in there. It lights up the light.
1,000 watts.
I could do the same thing with the piezo tweeter.
I hooked this up to my piano and it told me. Oh man, it's gonna get
Bro,
so
Tony-
worse. We're coming up on an hour
Tony
already.
Diamore's the G, man. I
Yeah.
like that guy.
Oh, good shit. Did you ever? Oh, did you get your? What did you get? A boombox from Diamore?
Bro, I'm mad as hell, dude. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I had it. I loved it. It sounded amazing. Had it sitting over here. Took it down the river about 3 times. What did I do last trip I went out? Flipped out of the kayak. And it went down. I got everything but that, dude. I was chasing it. It was fumbling through the rocks.
Damn.
And then I
You
looked away.
lost it?
Yeah, it's in the river. It's in the Etowah River.
Oh,
Dude, Jake went
I'm
through
mad
so
as
much
hell, bro.
shit. He won
That
a
hurt.
specific boombox, and he emailed him. He was like, "Yo, can I like pay to upgrade to the next one?"
Yeah,
and like
dude,
went
'cause I
through all
wanted-
this just to get it.
yeah,
Like,
man.
he had a
the-
stack of plates. And he's like, "Hey, whoever can get the closest to the actual weight of it, not the spacers, just the plates on a scale. I'll give you this for free." And I looked up. I looked at it. I was like, "That looks like 3/8 plate." I looked on his thing. It says 3/8 plate. Hopped online. I was like, "How much is a sheet this big by this big weigh?" And then I counted the holes, looked at the holes, and subtracted it all out, and I was like, within a couple grams.
Jeez.
It's just math, man.
Hey, Chris Fox. He's got ghost cones on all of his Z4s.
Dude, I have to get Z4s with ghost cones. Like I have to have those.
Hey,
All
you
right,
do.
Hear me out. You're gonna have to spray paint,
It just costs
All
2
of it.
kidneys per Z.
and you're good. You gotta spray paint all of it except for the Batman symbol on the front of it. So whenever you light it up, it shows the Batman symbol. Look at this. I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
Bro,
Perfect
let's
idea.
go.
Dude,
Let's go.
I'm good with ideas like that, bro.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's like, I'm gonna have 4 bat symbols in my truck, man.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Wait.
All right. Well, on that
Oh,
note,
man.
it's been a great show. I'll see you guys next week. No.
Damn, you going that quick
Also,
already, bro?
Just one thing I have to complain about as far as the boombox goes, because the one that was in the wood shop, like I guess it stopped working recently, so we didn't have any for any music for the last couple weeks. Yesterday we finally got sick of it. Borrowed one from the brewery that's next door. Just a little like PA system they have. That like 15-inch sub they have with it is the most disappointing thing I've ever heard. Genuinely, I think their smallest 8 would be more bass than it. Like you crank it up
That's
and you get
with a DD sub.
What's a PA, man? It's trying to play all the
it doesn't play low
Yes.
or loud, and it's a 15.
I can't.
It's probably got
I know,
a
sometimes-
blade amplifier in it, so
Sometimes
I'd
cheap is
play
too
my
cheap. You know.
music
I don't
and
know.
it'd just be
There is a
like
limit.
expecting a big, strong bass hit and then nothing.
like, I know you take some PA and just hook it up in there and have your whole thing jamming, but if you don't want to do that,
that would take time. We're busy. We just
Then
like
hit up
grabbed
Tony
something
Diamore.
from the
It's been
brewery
like-
next door.
Go look at Tony Diamore's stuff, dude.
Yeah.
The
Oh
Diamond
yeah,
Box
the
stuff
system
is
he's got in
expensive.
his shop.
Bro, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, the
So
big
good.
one has 3 modes. I bet nobody knows this. The big one has 3 modes. You turn it into SQ mode, and the filters on the bottom change. You turn it into like a party mode or the all-out bass mode, and it changes all the 6s into
Oh,
like
that's pretty
subwoofers.
cool.
That is cool.
Make them
Yeah.
fancy.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's why I pay him the big bucks.
Well, hey guys, I mean, we hit that hour mark a little bit ago, but you know, we could sit here all night, and I gotta go live after this, and you guys got the rest of your night, and it's beautiful outside, so get some fresh air, man. But Blake, thank you
Not
for
here.
joining us, dude. You're awesome,
thanks,
and Patreon of mine, awesome, dude. And Jake, thank you for stopping in. Casey, thank you for just being you, man.
You too,
Shoot,
buddy.
man.
I
Hey.
changed my
You too.
name. It wasn't Casey's Never Loud Enough.
Never loud enough.
Dude, I
Never
have
allowed
to get C4.
Bro, I had one name typed in and it was just so long it wasn't gonna work. But I was gonna say Casey's idea pincushion because he's always bouncing them off of me.
Hey, I know them guys. I know them guys, Jake.
Bro.
Trust me. I feel you, man, and I don't know how you do it because you got it more than I do. But keep doing you, man. It's tough, but you know what?
Well, what
We're
if I
there.
do
We're there
this?
for a reason. We are there for a reason.
Well, what if I do this?
Yes.
Well, what if I do this? How about I'm thinking about we do this? Well,
Oh, yeah.
You know, I thought about that some more, and I think we're gonna do this. Nah, that's not going. How about this? Swear, like it's a daily thing. That's
Hey,
Casey.
it is what it
that's
is.
Casey
Hey,
in a nutshell.
the more
Okay.
harebrained idea, the better.
Here's
All right,
what
guys.
I'm here right now. Well, before we close, I have to get this idea out there, okay? Jake, you know how we have the shape of the pie basket cut out, right?
Yep, I
I
told
already
you I'd
looked at
make
the
you a.
T4 cutout
insert.
diameter. It's a little bit smaller, so we make acrylic set-ins to go in there with ghost cones, frost the acrylic, and put lights under all of it. That's all I'm saying.
You know what I just heard?
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying, like all I'm saying. You know what
That's
I
all I'm
just heard?
saying.
Is you're gonna have to unload them damn subs again to get in there
I'll
and
do
do
it.
all that damn
I'll
work.
do it.
Hold up, y'all heard this on live. He's
It's
gonna
all right.
do it.
Slamologies in
That-
another year. You got
Buy
some
the
time.
acrylic, I'll cut it for you on the CNC. Buy
All
the
right, guys,
acrylic, I'll
again,
cut it.
Thank you. I love you guys. Blake, again, thank you for joining us. This was episode 49. Scott, we missed you, but we made it happen. And we're going to end it here.
Alrighty.
All right.
Love you, bye.
See you guys.